Evening, folks. Nick the Fourth here. Back on the shop tonight. Shooting this the same as the 795 debacle. I'll put that video out probably sometime coming up this week. Y'all see what I mean as debacle. 795 was in a whole lot rougher shape than I thought it was, and it's going to need a lot of work. Got it fully torn down, got it boxed up for the moment. We'll come back and as I can get some parts in, we'll come back to that saw. We're just probably going to build the motor for now. I'm also going to get that 740 running that I got here on the bench that I've had for probably a year now. I've been looking for the flywheel cover, the right hand starter / clutch cover, and the front handle for it. And honestly, it's been more cost effective to buy full part saws than it would be to buy those 3 pieces separate. But that's for another time. I'll probably work on that sometime this week and try to get it going. Make sure it's got spark, it's good to go. It's in a whole lot better shape. But topic of this video is going to be back on our P40. So if y'all seen in the Let's Get the P40 running video, first start, we had a bad air leak, which I believe is going to end up being on this clutch side. Most of the time, if you got a bad bad crank seal, it's typically going to be, most saws, it's going to be on the clutch side. That's where it gets the most strain from you pulling the chain, or not you necessarily, but folks pulling the chain too tight. It's going to put added stress on this bearing and this seal. It's more like apt to stretch, whatever you want to call it, disform. So we're going to go ahead and pull this sucker off and see what the clutch looks like, or not the clutch, the crank seal looks like. It should be normal thread, reverse thread. There you go. Nut is off. Pull off your little cover here. This one seems to be a little stuck. We'll help it out. This is a rim drive. I may update it with no, I'm gonna say that for my P50. Let's see if we can get it to. There we go. Now these are just splined on. Sometimes they'll pull right off. Sometimes you gotta really play with them. I've had one where I had to put a 2-jaw puller on here to pull it off. And sometimes just gotta see what it'll do. I'm gonna rotate it up real quick. Yeah, it's just splined on there, just like the others. It's just probably gonna be stuck. So what I typically do is take a nut, thread it back on some. Just so you won't mess up your threads. Try to get it right there. Got a 2-jaw puller right here. We'll put it around our crank, or around our clutch drum. Typically, these do not take home us any pressure to get off. Like I said, they're just splined. They're not threaded on. They just sometimes get stuck. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Keep this tight. While you tighten this sucker down. Try to keep it as straight as possible. There we go. It's gonna keep trying to slide off on me. Let me move it around like this so I can get it going. I think this is it's either 14 or 15. Probably get it with this 14. Keeps wanting to slide with me. Come on. It may be on here pretty good. I've had a few that were pretty darn good. There's another way you can do it. You hold it up by the clutch drum, take a hammer, whack it. I typically find that this is a little more forgiving. Yeah, it already pulled it up. Like I said, that simple. It's already pulled it out. Now we just pull the nut back off. She should slide right off. Should. Like I said, they're just splined. I don't know if you can see that real well. See the splines in it? It's just splined on there. Sometimes they'll just get stuck. You'll have a little retainer right there between it. Have your bearing. And you'll have your clutch drum. This is going to be a 7-tooth 3/8. Then you got your oil pump, which on the newer P42s, I'm not even sure on the P41s because I ain't got one. This is a P40, but typically on P42s, P50s, or P42s, P52s, farm saws, you'll have a plate that goes over this. That protects or tries to keep your oil pump from getting as dirty. I think most of the time I've seen them, they're still dirty as can be under there. So we'll wipe this off just a little bit. I ain't too terribly worried about it because much more is going to come off when we pull this oil pump off. These saws are super simple to work on. That's why I enjoy them so much. This one appears to have 3 bolts. Most of them have 2. And actually, we'll pull these 2 first and see if she'll pop off. These are the typical 2 that you got to pull off. Oh, she's gonna be stiff and difficult. That's kind of how my night's been going. So let me find where I set my other adapter. Oh, right in front of my face. We'll just pop it with the impact real quick. There we go. Oh, that one might be a little tight. Yep. That one's going to be pretty tight for us. We'll try tightening it up. That's another trick I've learned is, yep. You tighten it just a little bit, then loosen it back off. It'll typically come off. Seems like this one did have three bolts. Most of the newer ones only have 2 bolts. So there is that. Guess they swapped these. So I'm not sure how much of an interchange the later oil pumps will have with these older style. That was still a little tight off in there. There we go. Typically, these things can be sealed on there sometimes. I'll just take a small screwdriver, go up back here, pry up right there. Come back here, pry up on this side. Come back, pry here a little more. Just work it back and forth essentially. It'll pop right off. See that? This one's being a little more stubborn, but also looks like it may have never been off before. Then it's got a bunch of crud on it, so there's that. There we go. I think we got her loose now. You are going to have your line. Line is up here, up on top right here. See it? Just going to set this out of the way. We'll clean off the gasket and everything in a little bit. Got a little bit of oil that's wanting to try to run off. Run out of that cavity. And this thing is dirty. May take it off and take it outside and spray it off real quick, because it is dirty. Now, best way to get these oil pump drives off is take a flathead, literally work it back and forth against the crank. You usually get it to pop off like so. Just gotta work it back and forth. There you go. Hear that pop? Work it that side, come back up here, work it that side. It's somewhat press fit, but after 4 or 5 times, it should pop right off. You'll hear it just slowly pop its way up. Sometimes you can grab it with a pair of pliers and pull it right off. Leaking a little bit out of the gas cap, leaning it up on its side like so. So we may have to get a gas cap for it. That may be all we can do. I have to get me a little bit bigger screwdriver, headwise. That way we can keep prizing up on it. Let's see. Oh, I got one here. Here's my big one down here. Use it. There you go. Just keep working it back and forth. Sometimes they'll get real loose where they'll pop right off. Sometimes you gotta work them back and forth like this. It'll slowly work its way up. Let's see. Get you to. No, we just gotta keep working it. Fingers are giving out on me. There we go. There we go. Oh, we're so close. Now it's gonna. Usually, this is a metal one. The older or the newer plastic ones usually come off a little bit easier. They're usually not as tight of a fit as this one. They slip a little bit more. This is a older metal one, which is probably more preferable, to be honest. It's just being a booger trying to get it off. It's pretty darn close now. I'm sure you can put a puller on it and pull it right off. Got that 2-jaw. But I like this system better. Just takes a little bit longer. I think that'll about do it. Go, wiggle it off. Yeah, this is the older metal style. That's our outside. Or no, sorry, inside. So, yeah, it looks like our crank seal is pretty well shot down in here. See, pretty gross. She don't look too hot at all. So, what I typically do is take a flathead, go to one side of it. On these p42s, that's just these, or p40s, p42s, farm saws. This style of Pioneer. And you can tap one side down and the other side should pop up. Just make sure you don't hit your case. There she goes, she's working her way up. Make sure you don't get no dirt or nothing off in it. Then you can typically reach up here, work it out. I'll get one more good whack. There we go. It'll typically work its way out. Let's see if I can get my little pick down in here. So usually you can get them to pop right off. But I left everything on this one just for ease. It'll usually pop right off when you do that. Get one more good swag, try and get this sucker up. Yeah, she's pretty well. She should be popping up now. Guess I could crush this side just a touch. There we go. There you go. Crank seal is off. Yeah. No, I doubt it was doing much for sealing at all, to be honest with you. All I do, grab a paper towel, clean off what I can down in it. Try not to get any more crud in it. And that gas cap's steady leaking. There you go. Maybe that'll get it quit leaking. Oh, it's coming right out the vent. That's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Alright, let me grab a crank seal. I have a handful more of these left. Not a whole lot. This is a Timken 472 705. That's what I use on these saws. I wonder where my little piece of plastic is. I have a piece of plastic I use to install these suckers. I bet I done lost it now, but I could use this. Typically try to put something around it. That way. There we go. Slide her on over. Slide it down. But these have such a long crank, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Well, I said that if I can put it on the right way. All you're trying to do is get it over that lip without prolapsing the seal. There you go. Try to just pull your plastic as far up as you can. You want just a little bit. Once you get over that seal, you're pretty well done. Say that. Now plastic ain't gonna rip out of there. It's too brittle. Yeah, we'll just grab a little bit of oil right here. Throw it on the seal. Make sure she's pretty clean. This is a double seal, so I'll push it down, pull it back out. Yeah. Alright, now here's the fun. I had a washer I use specifically for this. It's a big thick washer, or you can take another seal. Probably use this seal. Yeah, I use this seal. And take a socket that fits just inside of it. Oh, it's not going to be long enough or big enough. Use my sockets now. That definitely ain't gonna work. What is that? 16 will go up to a 17. I bet that'll push it right perfect. Take your hammer, start tapping. See where she lands. Might have to step it up to an 18 or a 19. Let's see. Yeah, we'll step it up to an 18. See how she did. Alright, so we're gonna went a little bit farther in on this side. So we will take a punch and gently work this other side. Oop, popped right off. So I typically do, let's say that, just pop down on that side. So we will these things are super tight, these 472 705s. Kind of gotta be careful. And she's just trying to work around again. So grab this seal. I think this came off of Johnsford. Put it down over there. Grab our 18 again. Get started again. She's starting fairly evenly this time. Go up there. Give it a whack. Still going a little bit on this back side, so she's starting to. Give her a whack on this side. Trying to get her started. That's where I want it. Here we go. We're getting somewhere. Just a little bit at a time. Just go a little bit at a time. I have to just pull that off for the time being and go this route. Just pop up on this side. Start popping her down. We got it pretty well started for now. So now I'll take my punch again, go back this side, give her a swack, give it a swack, just start working it down. You'll hear when it I usually set the punch at half on the outside of the case and half on the seal. Make sure it gets all the way down evenly, which it appears it has. Appears pretty even to me. Does not look like we have prolapsed our seal. So that may just well do it. Let's clean up this guy a little bit. Still pretty nasty. Oil pump and gasket. I don't know how these things get so much crud in between them and the gasket every time. I don't understand that. I mean, every single time it gets so much crud between it and the gasket. Oop, don't want to pull that out. Alright, now we can take our oil pump drive, set it on down there, and take a, I think it's a 13, fits fairly well, 13 or 14. You start tapping it down, if I remember. I just have my hammer now also, right there. Getting tired. Start working it down. Use that same seal again if you need to. You'll know when you get it there. I think I'm hitting on it. I want it to be just off the seal, just barely off of it. It looks to be about perfect. Well, when she rotates, yeah, that'll be perfect. Just a touch off the seal. Don't want to drive it into the seal because then you'll have air leak again. You take your oil pump, set it on back down in here. Get your oil line back situated down. There you go. Hope y'all see that. Just put it back on down in there. Need to, you can rotate it over. Make sure it gets started on that worm gear. We'll take our screwdriver. Man, still approaching on 30 minutes. Thought I did this fairly quick. But I mean, this is a real time start to finish on doing a crank seal on these Pioneers. Like I said, I ain't pulled this clutch off, so I know we was gonna have a little trouble on it, and then the seal gave me a little more trouble than I'm used to on these. Usually don't have that much trouble. There you go. All right, now we're in the home stretch. Put that guy on there. We'll put you on there. Slide our seal in, or not our seal, our bearing in. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, that'll keep it off that fella right there. Yeah, it's supposed to ride just like that. Good deal. Throw our bearing on first. We'll throw our drum on, then our little spacer. And we'll throw our clutch on, and it does have an outside on it and an inside, or it doesn't say inside, just has an outside, so put that toward your outside. Come on now, go on now, there you go. Then you'll throw on your little clutch protector. Then you can throw your clutch nut on. There you go. Grab our adapter or 14. Oh, come on. I'm just having a tough night out here in the shop, I tell you. It should be plenty tight enough. There's still room to go. That don't look quite right. Our clutch is sticking up more than it should. Pull that off. But that's pretty well what you're going, what to expect with doing these. I don't know why it's not sitting down all the way. Unless we do have to drive it down a little bit further, but that can't be the case. I think we need to swap this guy around, like so. Yes. That would do it. That'll do it. Had that little back spacer backwards. It happens. Line our clutch back up. Come on. Slide off in there. Still not wanting to go down like it should. I don't think these have a master. Nope, there she goes. Still hanging out just a touch. Either way, it ain't gonna hurt anything. Grab our nut. I'll have y'all out of here in 34 minutes. There you go. That is it. Seems like it sticks out a whole lot further, but that's pretty well all you gotta do to change out crank seal on these Pioneer P40s. The P series, your farm saw series. I know I've done it 100 times before, but I'll show you one more time. If there's anything y'all want to see, please let me know. If you don't mind, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks, guys.